Hi everyone, it's Kim from Holy Scrap, and I'm back today with another technique. Today's technique is called the faux leather technique, and it is a super easy technique and great for creating backgrounds for masculine cards or anything with a nature theme. I think this looks really nice with. The tools that you'll need to create this technique is some cardstock, and you can see just a little edge of a piece that I have here, some masking tape, a clear embossing powder, distress ink, and then some scissors. And the distress ink I'm using is walnut stain along with a blending tool. So I've started a lot of this process already, so you don't have to sit and watch me do this. But I'm taking masking tape and I'm tearing it into small pieces like this and putting it down to completely cover the cardstock. And I'm actually going over the edge a little bit so I can use some of that to help me hold down my cardstock when I'm doing my inking. Now, the only tip that I have for this is to try and make sure you overlap your pieces of cardstock, because that really is what helps with the technique. And I can even come back in here and add a few more little pieces. So once your cardstock is completely covered, you are going to take your stain, your walnut stain or your dark brown ink, and you are going to blend over the masking tape. Now, you'll want to have an ink that does not dry very quickly. A dye ink may not work that well for this technique because we are going to need to emboss this. And so you want an ink that is a pigment ink or a hybrid ink, such as the distress ink, that will stay wet for a little bit of time, which allows you time to get the embossing powder on and have it stick to the ink. So once you get this to the shade that you want, and you could blend colors, you could have a couple of different browns in here and do a little bit of shading if you wanted, which would be fun. I'm just going to pull this up carefully because it's masking tape; it doesn't stick that much. And I can go ahead and apply my embossing powder right over the top of this. And you'll see that, you can see how well that sticks to the distress ink. I'm not going to emboss this right now because my heat gun is so loud you won't be able to hear me talking. But you would emboss this with just a standard heat gun. And of course you'll know it's finished when it gets very shiny. The surface is shiny. And I will show you what that looks like when it's done. So here's one I've already done. You can see I have that nice shine and even a little bit of texture in here. Just love that look. I think it looks great. And then with the excess tape that you have, you can just use some scissors and trim that off. Of course, the Tim Holtz scissors are wonderful for this because they have a non-stick surface, and the handles make them super comfortable and easy to use. And so once you have that completely trimmed, you have a piece that would look like that, which is perfect to put on a card. I'll show you what I did.